Welcome back, Mr. Witness. May you kindly take your seat. Mr. Witness, for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters, I want to remind you once again that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Thank you. Madam Chair, over to you.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Batchily. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Batchily, just to conclude on this issue, and we allow you time to bring the documents you have asked and the information therein. The issue with respect to the finance director's allegations in with respect to the invoices that were sent by Makumbasane and the trade license manager, Pamurun Lowe. You were trying to explain this matter. When you received the letter, did you respond to it?
I will have to check my correspondences to see. But in the meantime, I have certain invoices to show and receipts with respect to collections that were made during the early part of January. Because as you had said in your statement,
yes,
that Modu Kamara said that the council advisor or the license manager were the signatories to these invoices, but I think that was misleading information, because if you look at the invoices that I have here, they were signed by Modu Kamara himself. So the issue of the illegality of the license manager or Makumasane issuing invoices.
No, the ones we have were not signed by the finance director.
Okay,
They
I have
were
these.
signed by the chief executive. The ones I showed you.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then I have these ones too to show you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let me see.
And also a memo from the acting director of admin,
Yes.
With regards to the decision of the management relating to the collection of revenue.
Yes, and also the minutes. You mentioned having minutes of meeting.
Yes, I have the minutes.
May I have all those
I have to
documents,
check
please?
it out. The minutes, I will have to bring them later on because I think I took the wrong ones.
That's fine, Mr. Batchily. Let's have the ones, documents that you are.
I certainly have them.
That will-
And then this other one was relating to the statement he made with regards to the payment of the QCell group in Banjul.
Payment
That-
of?
The payment of license for QCell in Banjul.
For QCell?
Yeah.
Yes.
QCell. Like the explanation to the commission was that he raised the level from 500,000 to 1
Yes.
million.
Yes.
But then that was wrong because before he came in 2019, they collected 1.1 million too. So when it was time for them to make the other payment for the following year, according to Mohammed Cham, when I further inquired about why they paid less, was the fact that Mr. Jah came to the council, and then the former director, former deputy CEO, Fatou Tal, went to Mr. Cham's office and instructed Mr. Cham to reduce the payment to 500,000. And then when Modu Kamara came subsequently, they started paying again 1.1 million.
But you were there anyways. Let's admit it first.
Yeah.
You were there in council. Can the deputy CEO do that?
Well, she had no right to do it.
But how come you were not aware of it?
No, I was not then in council.
You were not?
I had traveled.
You traveled?
Yeah.
We applied to tender a memo together with 4 photocopy of vouchers or invoices sent to Laura's Food. And the memo is from the acting director of admin to all revenue heads and cashiers. And a list from January to September 2019 with respect to invoices issued and amounts due for QCell. And a memo from the director, from this director of finance to the chief executive officer with the topic request for re-engagement of consultancy for revenue generation and collection to be admitted and marked as exhibit.
A memo dated the 15th of July 2022, it is addressed to the CEO. It emanated from the Director of Finance, and it has the subject request for re-engagement of consultancy for revenue generation and collection. It is copied to the Mayor, Chairman, Finance Committee, and a file copy is maintained. A memo dated the 12th of January 2024, it is from the Acting Director of Admin addressed to all revenue heads and cashiers, and it has the subject directives from the Office of the CEO as agreed by the management of BCC. It is copied to the Lord Mayor, Acting Director of Admin, Director of Finance, Director of Audit, Finance Manager, Chairman Establishment, Chairman Finance Committee, Chairman Local Government Service Commission, PS, Ministry of Lands, Council Advisor, BCC, and a file copy is maintained. 4 invoices addressed to Laura's Food Company. And the final document is particulars of invoice dated from 17th of January 2019 to 18th of September 2019. Sorry, that is, let me take that again. It's invoice list covering the period 17 June 2019 to 18 September 2019. And this, the particulars are, this is addressed to QCell, and it identified the amount of monies that are due and payable. These documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/BCC/MB/003.
As the Commission places. Now, Mr. Batchily, the issue here is the Director of Finance, Mamadou Kamara. He brought SAP Enterprise, correct?
Yeah.
For the question of revenue. And you guys took it to council and convinced council, and then they passed a resolution.
Yeah.
To start with, that is not the process, correct?
Yeah.
Council is not the contracts committee.
Yeah.
There should be a contracts committee.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to. That's the original route it should take. You agree with that?
Yeah, sure.
Good. So it violated the GPPA regulation because it did not meet up with the requirements. And now there was a breach there, but SAPs were given contract. Then there's also a conflict of interest because the Director of Finance knows SAPs enterprise. So in the first line, you should even have discouraged even taking the matter to the General Council and follow the usual procurement process. You agree?
Yeah.
Good. And now things seem to backfire because you feel or you have information that SAPs were collecting revenue from your revenue lines. They were not coming up with new revenue lines that probably were not discoverable by council. And so you feel, well, this is a duplication. There's no need for us to pay SAPs this much if what they are doing is exactly what we are doing, correct?
Yeah.
And so we told that to the Director of Finance. The same thing that we had said to the Director of Finance, that there is no new ingenuity in relation to the discovering of new revenue lines. And therefore you're paying SAPs money that they don't deserve. You agree with that?
Yeah, because like I said, getting towards, there are some payments that they brought in.
Yes.
Those I would have to attest were not the ones that we were receiving previously.
Yes.
So it's like a combination.
Yes, but it's not a new revenue line that they discovered. It's as a result of perhaps the inefficient manner in which the finance department was supposed to trace the revenue.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now that you are not pleased, and therefore the finance director still remains to be the finance director, he has the certain powers as per the manual and the accounting systems. Do you not think it is not proper to just rob the finance director or remove him from certain powers just because he did not do what he had to do, or you're not happy with him in one way or the other, because you cannot now request for all these documents and then assign Makumba Sane and Pamudundao to go ahead, because he has to manage. The finance director must manage and supervise the revenues of council. That is his job. You could have queried him. You could have raised disciplinary issues if he is not effective.
My understanding of removing, because it's not that he was being removed, because by the end of the day, as director of finance, obviously his role was not to go physically and do the revenue collection.
Right.
So, in a sense,
Right.
he still had the supervisory role over them.
No, he does not, because if he did not sanction the job they were doing, he cannot supervise that.
You can. I don't understand if he
did not initiate and give authority for the people under him in the finance department to execute a function, he cannot supervise them.
No, like I said, the job that was being done well before, and there were no problems.
No, but there are problems when someone says that there's a problem that his job is being, there's interference in his job. That is the issue. If there is no problem, it's because there's no complaint.
No, I do not agree with that interference.
Let me read to you. No, you don't have to agree. Let me read to you that his functions. It says the Director of Finance is the head and finance of the finance department of the council and shall be responsible for the following: overall coordination and control of the accounting function of council, supervision of accounting staff, production of annual financial statement, interpretation, analysis of accounts, and this goes on. It says that he will be specifically answerable to you in the execution of those duties, to the general supervision of the accounting functions, the proper collection, recording, and custody of all revenues of council. That is his job. So the law has you as the overall accounting officer, but the law would not give you all the powers. It's dangerous, right? It's dangerous for you, the CEO, to be the be-all and the end-all of every dalacy and how it is collected and managed. So it says XYZ will have these functions to provide checks and balance and limitations to your powers as CEO or any CEO. Do you understand that? So you don't have those powers if the finance director does not do a job, or you don't think it is correct, the manner in which it has been executed. There are disciplinary measures to follow, but not to give instructions that someone else can do it. You don't have those powers.
Okay, if you say I don't have no such powers, okay, that's one thing. But then the other thing is, I have seen practically a breakdown in some of the functions that you have just mentioned.
Write it down.
Because, for example, immediately after we terminated our contract with Sabel, all right, I was thinking that the reasons that we advanced for the departure from the contractual obligations were obvious.
My point is, write it down.
Were obvious. And then secondly, if I write it down, okay, that was very important to have been done. Write it down.
Correspondences. Write to the finance director. You wrote to the finance director during the project when the finance director wouldn't sign checks. Write it down. But you cannot have you don't have the powers to say, well, I'm now taking this up.
No, I'm trying to explain that in the actual sense, I have taken nothing away from him.
No, you have.
In the sense that
the invoices are not within your domain. These are in the finance department. It's as if you are raising invoice. You don't have the power to raise, let's say, vouchers. You vet them. The law gives you the power to make sure that the payment that is being raised are in line with budgetary procedures, and that's it. And then in line with normal procurement process. But you don't raise vouchers. Do you understand? I'm just giving an example.
Yeah, I don't raise vouchers.
Just because you are number one doesn't mean you can do number two's job and number three's job. No, you cannot. You can't do the job of the accounts clerk. You cannot do that. Do you understand that? So the same thing follows as well. You cannot do the job of the finance director. There needs to be a finance director.
Under the proposed changes we brought as a management,
Right.
I'm trying to explain to you that we did not take away no responsibilities from him, in the sense that the license manager or officer is the one who has traditional, and even under him, has been going to town, you understand, and issue invoices to businesses for them to pay.
Who is the license manager answerable to?
The license manager is directly answerable to the finance manager.
That's it. That's it. It's as simple as that. That answers the question.
Yeah.
He works directly under the finance department, answerable directly to the finance director. That is simple.
That indirectly, but directly answerable to the finance manager.
Everybody in the finance department is directly answerable to the finance director.
Yeah, okay, but here...
Everybody in the finance department, no matter your rank, you are directly answerable to the finance director.
Yeah, but what I'm saying here is the statement that he made in his letter, that there's an illegality in the sense that the licensed officer or manager is issuing invoices.
Yes.
I don't see an illegality.
The licensed manager cannot issue an invoice without the supervision and control of the finance director.
But if you make reference to what I have shown you, the invoices I have shown you on the 5th of January,
right.
Those invoices were signed by him.
I am not concerned about those invoices, the ones he signed. I am concerned about the ones he did not sign. Are we together?
Yes, there are some invoices that he did not sign.
I am just concerned about the invoices that he himself is querying. Not the ones he did not query. The ones he is querying.
Yeah, but we have to look at the substance of the query.
No.
That's what we are trying to do now here.
You don't have the powers to do what you did. It's simple. The finance manager does not have the power to work unilaterally and follow your instruction directly as CEO bypassing the finance director. No. Unless you can guide us through the finance manual, can you?
No, I think my understanding is still not kind of adequate.
Yes.
But then I want to try my best to make it more feasible in terms of understanding it.
Right.
What I'm saying here is the signing of invoices.
Right.
If you look at the invoice books themselves, you see the space under. It is written the Chief Executive Officer.
Yes.
But I may not be in a position to be signing those invoices.
Right.
So it has been the responsibility of the Director of Finance.
By law.
Yeah?
By law.
To be signing.
By law, to control.
To control.
Direct revenue collection.
Or in some other cases, we have seen the license manager would do signatures.
Under the direction of the finance director.
Okay, but now in this case, we as a management too, like I said, our experiences of the previous year in November and December, if we do not have the direct cooperation of the Director of Finance in this endeavor, that is what led us to, like as a management sit
you
down.
should know what to do.
I know what
finance don't do his job. You should know what to do. You are very experienced. You have 23 years plus service experience. You should know how to handle a staff that is not following the dictates of the law. Not to break them on you by yourself. To make sure it is done. You know what to do.
But my options in terms of dealing with this matter, apart from the writing, we are limited, because what could I have done if I am to take what you're saying, was maybe to write to the finance finance committee, or I write to the ministry.
You know what to do. Let's keep it at that.
Okay.
You know what to do. You did not do it, and then what you did was not favorable by law. That is as simple as it is. And then, so, because you don't have unilateral control over revenue collection, let me ask that you be given the Trade License Act. Do you have a copy with you?
No, I don't have it with me. No.
Because it appears what you have collected, for instance, what is being invoiced to AM Textile is way less than what is supposed to be invoiced. You see why it is risky?
Can I see and be given the explanation with regards
Yes,
to the
yes.
yardstick that was determined?
Yes. You will have the copy of the license act, and then AM Textiles. Where do they fall?
No, this is not the register. It's,
act-
it's the trade license is it manual.
Yeah, does it not have the various category of license that you should collect and the price?
Yes,
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
but I don't have the.
Not you need the register. I want to know exactly how much a bank should pay. What is the guideline relation to the payment? Is that not the document we have to examine?
Yeah.
If you want to know how much a bank should pay or a financial institution should pay, is that not the act?
Yeah, that's
Exactly. So AM Textiles, where do they fall?
Lead council. I'm seeing here Birkama Area Council.
Can we have the one for Banjul? Fumwa, Birkama Area Council. I think this place. Yes. So AM Textiles, where will they fall? Which category?
That particular is a textiles company, no?
It's what?
It's a textiles company. They import
AM
textiles.
Textiles, yes. You know, when I asked the finance director where they fall, he told the commission the answer straight away.
I will have to find it out.
Because he's familiar with revenue collection.
I'm also very familiar with this.
But you-
I've gone on a license collection campaign for 6 months.
So now where does AM Textile fall? Which category?
I'm trying to figure that out. Because you know, you don't have anything such as textiles, economic textiles.
Let me help you.
We have sole proprietor traders, businesses with values, with goods valued, and
Let me help you, please.
thank you.
This is why I said the finance director has knowledge. That is his job. See, the law makes it that way. That is his job to know the different category of how to call again, different license that they have to pay. So you have the sole proprietor traders, financial institutions, communications, cosmetic and fashion business, construction industry, tradesmen, and what we're talking about right now is general trading companies.
Yeah.
You understand that? General trading companies. And so I will turn to that page. So please guide us to the general trading.
General trading companies. You
Yes.
have large scale.
Yes.
That's businesses with goods above 5 million.
Above 5 million.
So above 5 million.
Yes.
And you have medium scale.
Above 5 million is how much? How
Above
much should they pay?
They should pay $100,000.
$100,000, yes. Go ahead.
And medium scale, between 3.5 to 5 million, is 60,000.
60. Okay.
Yeah.
The last one?
And then small scale, below 3.5.
Below
35,000.
3.5, they are paid how much?
35,000.
$35,000.
Yes.
Okay. Let me now show you what we have here. You pay once in the year, right?
Yeah, they pay once a year.
What is the amount in the invoices you have issued?
Is it 30,000?
Yes. $30,000.
Yeah.
May I please have it back? That would be lower than the lowest category. Correct?
Yeah.
And how do you explain that?
That should not be.
I know. But now how do you explain it? Because it was done without the supervision of the Director of Finance. Forget about things he have done wrong. Invoices he may have issued, whether they are undervalued or not. This is now the instructions that you have given outside the approval of the Finance Director. Now, how do you explain this? It's done by Makubazane and Pamurundao.
Yes, I have agreed to the fact that that should not be. They should not charge 30,000 instead of the 35,000.
So you see why, not the 35,000. It's not $35,000. It could be the business is worth $5 million. So
Yes.
it's $100,000. They undercharge.
But then,
Yes.
okay, if that's the case, then
It's
I'll
evidence,
agree.
it's here.
I'll agree.
Yes.
But then, in the first instance I gave you two, it was a different scenario. So he's trying to prove his case. That's why he came up with this invoice.
Mr. Batchily, I do not doubt. That's why I said it's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I am confronting you with the allegations of the Finance Director on this issue.
Yeah.
Not some of the things he had done. We did not agree with most for some of the things that he had done. But for this issue, it's what happened. You understand the point? And what
Very
happened
well.
here is totally wrong.
Very well.
Exactly. But did you not know that you have to guide yourself by with the Licensing Act before you endorse $30,000?
I think I've said it very clearly that this is not the way it should be. If they are to pay $35,000,
Yes.
they should pay $35,000.
Or more.
Or more, they shouldn't have paid
Less than that.
30,000.
Now my point is, did you not guide yourself in giving your stamp or your signature on the invoice to know that this is what the act says? You did not do that.
No, I do not check invoices that are
So
sent.
why you now see why it is dangerous? So that when you look at their accounts, you see how their accounts are very much having suspicious transactions. Makumbasane having very suspicious transactions, financial transactions in his account. Because you and I know how
No,
it
I
works.
think that he is the best person to
I
explain.
had asked him. I'm now telling you, when you do not follow procedure, when there is a lapse in administration,
Yeah.
this is what you open. Floodgates for possible fraudulent actions.
Quite true.
That's the issue. Yes, that's the issue.
On this particular case.
Yeah, I'm referring to this particular case.
Yeah, all right.
Yes. Anyways, that's all for, unless there are questions, Honorable Chairperson, that's all for Mr. Batchily for part 1. Yes, we have Mr. Batchily when we come back for other issues. As well, we have so many issues to discuss with Mr. Batchily. He has been very cooperative, Honorable Chair. If there are questions for Mr. Batchily.
Thank you, Mr. Batchily, for coming.
Thank you, ma'am.
We will let you know when we will come back.
Thank you very
And
much.
please endeavor to bring the documents.
I'll start forthwith.
Yes, we have, we've got you the order, and the registrar will give you the order so that you can have access to the finance department to get the documents
Thank you.
that we have asked you to bring for us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, Madam Witness.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. Madam Witness, in which language do you wish to make your testimony?
I'll prepare to speak in Wolof.
You want to speak in Wolof? Okay. What is your religion?
Muslim.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an
I'll
affirmation?
swear by the Holy Quran.
Madam Chair, the witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Hold the Holy Quran and then repeat after me. I, Rohiatou Lowe,
Lowe,
do swear that
do swear that
I'll speak the truth,
I speak the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me Allah.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Yes, Council.
Yes, the microphone was not on. I was trying to signal the secretary to have Mr. Bojang, the interpreter, to interpret it in Wolof.
Mr. Secretary, can you please take the oath again? Yes, please. Thank you.
Madam Witness, can we take that again since you've opted to give your evidence in Wolof? Can we do the swearing in Wolof, please?
Okay.
Whatever I say in English, you wait for the interpreter, then you repeat after the interpreter.
Okay.
Okay. In which language do you wish to make your testimony?
I would prefer to make it in
No, you wait for the interpreter now.
Wolof.
I ought to speak in Wolof.
What is your religion?
Muslim.
I'm a Muslim.
Do you wish to swear by the Holy Quran or make an affirmation?
Damay tiye Quran waat.
I prefer to hold the Quran and take oath.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The witness wishes to swear by the Holy Quran. Hold the Holy Quran and then wait for the interpreter. I,
Man.
Rohiatou Lowe,
Rohiatou Lowe.
do swear that
Mangi waat ne.
I'll speak the truth,
Ina wax dëgga.
the whole truth,
Dëgga rek.
and nothing but the truth.
Dara lu dul dëgga.
So help me God.
Suma diggante Yàlla.
Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness to you for us to proceed.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mayor, Honorable Mayor of Banjul, Rogi Malik Lowe.
Good afternoon, Chairperson.
And thank you for your patience. I was made to understand that you were here since in the morning. You are welcome to the commission.
Thank you.
Welcome to the commission.
Council, we may proceed.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. Now, please, we allow the interpreter to interpret.
Very well.
Please convey the message to the witness.
Which message?
Now, we are going to allow you to interpret.
Very well.
You have to interpret that to the witness.
Very well.
The purpose of that is it will be recorded so that your evidence and our questions are being recorded. If you need to explain any point that I may not ask you,
you may
seek permission from the commission as the chairperson. All right.
Very well.
Now, please tell the commission what your full name is.
Mangi tuda Rohi Malik Lowe.
My names are Rohi Malik Lowe.
Please kindly speak into the microphone.
Mangi tuda Rohi Malik Lowe.
Rohi Malik Lowe are my names.
What is your address?
Nena for Digger. Kotu.
You are the Mayoress of Banjul City Council.
Nena Yauya Neka Mayoress Banjul City Council.
Wow.
That's correct.
Is it correct to say from 2018?
Nena nda nitmuna ko DP 2018.
Wow.
Yes.
Now, what is your educational background?
Nena legi lan moy sa janga bi falla dore ak falla je.
From Kampama Primary School, Madam St. Joseph Primary School.
From Kampama Primary School, I proceeded to St. Joseph Primary School.
Then Madam St. Joseph High School.
Then from there, I proceeded to St. Joseph High School.
Madam College in Sweden.
I went to Sweden in college, a college in Sweden,
College bi ñoo wax ñu in the new shopping campus.
a college called New Shopping Campus.
Ma jógee fa dem at the University of Falun.
From there, I forwarded to University of Falun.
Foofu laa doon study IR, International Relations.
There, I studied the international relations.
Is that a degree program or a diploma?
It's a diploma program.
It's a diploma program.
Please, which year was
Ma
this?
jógee 2016 laa jeexal.
This was in 2016. That's the time I graduated.
Ma jógee foofu dem University of Harvard.
From there, I proceeded to the University of Harvard.
Foofu tam ma am fa 1 year on a leadership program.
There, I do 1 year on the leadership program.
Is that also a degree program, a master's program, or a certificate program?
It's a diploma program.
A diploma program.
Please proceed. Is that all?
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have a statement
Then I'm not statement.
that was obtained from you by the investigators of the commission.
Bi nga xamne sa statement la way investigator si ñoko joton sa loxo.
It bears your name and your signature.
Neena sa tour ak sa signature bi ñoo fa nekk.
Please go through the statement.
Neena legi lu war moy nga set ko.
It has six pages
Neena amna juroom ben kayit.
and a signature against your name.
Te amna tamit signé bi nga xamne nekk na ci sa tour fu sa tour nekk.
We will want you to tell us whether that is your statement.
Neena legi lu ñu bëgg moy pour nga leral ñun da sa bo moy sa statement bi wala déet.
Moom la.
Yes, this is the very statement.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness, Rohiatou Lowe. The date is 5th of March 2025 into evidence as an exhibit.
This statement dated the 5th of March 2025 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/RL/001.
As the commission places. Now, in 2018,
Neena hati 2018
when you came in as Mayoress of Banjul,
bi nga ñu doore nekk Mayoress Banjul.
how many councillors
Neena ñaata councillors
do you have in the General Council?
nga am si General Council.
maa ngi am fukki councillor ak ñett 13.
I had 13 councillors.
9 elected and 9 yuñ elect ak ñett yuñ nominate.
9 elected.
ñeneen yuñ nominate.
9 of them were elected and the 4 were nominated.
Now, who were the nominated councillors?
Neena ñenenti yi nga xam ne dañ leen nominate mooy kan ak kan.
mooy nim si yàlla Anseka
The late Anseka.
ak Fintong Ndiaye.
Fintong Ndiaye.
Ablaye Coulibaly.
Ablaye Coulibaly.
You said 3.
4 la.
4,
Beneen bi
okay.
laa fàtte.
I forgot the last person.
Okay, please, we will need the information subsequently at some point.
Neena tamit so fàttale ko bëggoon nañu xam turam.
Now, the first one, is it Anseka you said?
Neena ko njëkk gi nga ne nu mu tudda jëm ci Yàlla.
Anseka.
Anseka.
And which class of the society was she represented?
Neena moom ñan la nekkoon di represent foofu.
Social.
Social.
Social what?
Neena social soo ne social lan.
moom responsabilité am mooy comme pour dox yi fi social daal loo xam ne anything to do with social mooy woon responsibility am.
For her responsibility was that to see to it that anything connected to the social, that is her own responsibility.
And the second one again is the name?
Neena ñaareel bi nga ne tur wi.
Fintong Ndiaye mooy women rep.
Fintong Ndiaye is the women rep.
The third one?
ñetteel bi.
Ablaye Coulibaly mooy woon the youth rep.
Ablaye Coulibaly was the youth rep.
And Basiru Ndaw mooy woon the business rep.
And Basiru Ndaw, the business rep.
Now, how were they nominated?
Neena ñoom seen nomination bi wala naka lañ leen nominate.
Man maa leen nominate.
I nominate them.
And what is the, please proceed.
I nominated them.
Ablaye Coulibaly ñi ñoo ko indi youth si.
Ablaye Coulibaly was brought before me by the youths.
Which youths?
Neena ay ñan youth yan.
ñu ko fa teg ba léegi Banjul youth si.
The Banjul youths.
How did they nominate him?
Nee na naka lañ ko nominate on.
Gars yi dañ binda.
They wrote.
Do you have a copy of that letter?
Nee na nda binda bobu wala letter bobu am nga copy am bi.
I'm sure ne dina fa war a nekk si office bi.
I'm sure it must be at the office.
Please, we will give you a paper and a pen. We will want you to write it down. We will want to you to produce the letter.
Nee na léegi lu war mooy comme li nga nekk di def nii nga jël pen ak kayit lépp li nga xam ne wax nañ la ko wala dañ la ko laajte pour nga isiwaale nga dal di ko bind pour nga bañ a fàtte.
And the women's rep, how was she nominated?
Nee na women's rep moom naka lañ ko taanoon.
Women rep bi I cannot remember naka lañ ko nominate waat.
For the women rep, very unfortunate, I can't be able to remember exactly how she was nominated.
Waaye su ma demee si office bi su ma seetee dinaa gis loolu yëpp foofu.
But if I get back to office, if I check, I will know exactly how she was nominated.
How about the youth rep?
ñoom ñëpp.
The same thing.
You cannot remember.
Then I'm not fàttali ko.
dina fa nekk si office bi.
If I get back to the office, I'll remember.
Now, when they were nominated, let's assume, for instance, the case of the first, the social rep, and you received a letter. Now, what did you do when you received the letter?
Nena léegi nañ door comme ñu door si ku njëkk ki nee na bu ñu ko bindee ñu saaf la lettre bi nga jotee lettre bi loo defoon.
mooy ñu contact ko.
I contacted her.
and wax ko ne ko nominate naa ko si council bi.
And I told her that she was nominated.
then ñu
please proceed.
ñu bind si ministry bi.
Then I wrote to the ministry.
ma wax leen ne
Please increase your voice.
Very well. I wrote to the ministry.
ma bind ministry bi wax leen ne ñii ñooy ñi bëgg a nominate pour ñu ñëw as nominated councillors.
I wrote to the ministry informing them that these are the very nominees that they nominated to come to council.
ñu tontu ma ne ma waa baax na ànd nañ ci.
Then they replied by saying that yeah, it's fine, we agree to it.
ma dellu inform leen ne leen ministry ànd na si seen nomination bi.
I then informed them again that the ministry have accepted your nomination.
ñu ñëw ñu waatloo leen.
Then they came, they have taken oath.
ñu bokk ñoom lañ duggee si biir council bi.
That is how they joined the council.
Now, do you have those correspondences from the ministry, between you and the ministry?
Nena correspondent yooyu nga xam ne dox na sa diggante ak ministry bi ndaa yaa ngi ko amee.
xam naa loolu dafa nekk si admin because admin ñoo dee binda.
I know that will be within the admin because they used to write.
Okay, we will want you to as well produce that for the commission.
Yooyu tamitam dañu ko soxla wala dañu ko bugga pour nga dal di ko isi si commission bi bind ko bala nga bañ a fàtte.
mooy a letter from the ministry accepting their nomination.
Yes, the letter from the
ministry.
Yes, and also the ones that you wrote.
The correspondence between yourself, the one you wrote, and those that the minister wrote.
Yes, Council.
Yes, thank you very much. In 2021 as well, how many nominated members did you have?
Then I have 2021. Nyata nominated members nga amon fofu.
4 nominated and the same procedure.
4 nominated members and it applies the same procedure.
Okay, for 2018 and 2021, we will need the same request for the documentations in relation to the nomination.
Nena legi joge ko 2018 nomination mi nga amne hewna kayit yoy dañ ko soxla ak 2021 yi nga amne yoy tamit bokk na ci nomination bi yeb dañ ko soxla.
Now,
very well.
The sittings of councils, how often does council sit as a general body?
Nena legi council bi sen togay bi wala sen sitting bi ñaata yoon lañ dé tok as a general body?
Once a month. Unless and until you emergency.
Once a month, unless there is an emergency.
Do you keep minutes of these meetings?
Nena meeting you ngeen xamne toga ngeen de def nda minutes yi da ngeen ko ne amé.
Foog naa loolu clerk bi mooy the custodian of those minutes. Foog naa dina ko war a denc.
I think the clerk, because due to the fact that he is the custodian of, or he is the clerk of the meeting, he might have them.
How many committees of council do you have?
Nena ñaata committee ngeen am ci ak council?
I think foog naa juróom.
I think about 5.
Can you tell us the committees in council?
Nena nda mun nga ñu wax ñaata committee wala ñan ñoy committee bi ci council?
Committee bi amee waa di koppar yi.
The committee responsible for finance.
Committee bi amee waa di liggéey yi.
And the committee responsible for employment.
Committee bi amee wàllu jël ndaw ñi jël liggéeykat yi.
And the committee responsible for employment of the youth.
jël liggéeykat.
Just to employ people.
Establishment, finance, development and planning, youths and sports.
Youths and sports.
There is another one. Why don't I I'm not been.
There is another committee of which I do not remember.
Now, how are members of this committees appointed?
Nena legi domi committee yo no naklang de tana.
From the council.
By
General council. The general council.
By the general council.
All right. Now, you have standing orders?
Nena I'm going for your standing orders.
Yung si kom di ko topato.
Yeah, we are preparing it.
In 2018, there were no standing orders?
Nena kon hatim 2018 lolu bobu jamana bobu amulen won ñu standing orders.
Did it?
No.
When did you start working on the standing orders?
Nena kañ ngeen door di liggéey wala di defar comme ni ko waxe standing orders.
For now, before last council bobu end or the starting of this council?
I think this was before the end of last council or the beginning of this council.
How did you start working on the standing orders?
Nena naka lañ doore di liggéey standing orders bobu?
Through susuñ lawyer bi.
Through our lawyers or councillors.
Who is council's lawyer?
Nena council kan moy sen lawyer?
Sasum Silla.
Sasum Silla.
He is the one working on this. She is the one working on the standing orders.
Nena kon dafa melni mo nekk di defar standing orders bi.
Momo administration bi ak the deputy mayor bi nga xamne mako assign pour mu liggéey ak ñom.
Herself, the admin and the deputy mayor of which I instructed to go ahead with them.
Was the council lawyer written to in relation to council's decisions to work on standing orders?
Nen hana council da ngeen ko bindon pour mu ñew wala muy def mu bokk ci ñoo xamne ñoy liggéey ñoy defar standing orders.
Dañ bindon kan?
Lawyer bi.
Wa.
Yes.
Who wrote to the lawyer?
Nena kan ci an mo bind lawyer bi?
Xamna CEO bi la de.
I think it's the CEO.
Were you copied?
Nena nda yow da nga amone letter bobu copy?
Fatina, why is possible?
I forgot, but I think yes, it's possible.
Will the CEO be Mustapha Batchily?
Nena so ne CEO moy ndal moy kan Mustapha Batchily?
Mun na nek Mustapha Batchily, mun na nek ki fa nek comme lima la wax ne munuma remember exactly kañ la won, mun na nek mu nek end of the of our last term or mu nek beginning bi. So mun na nek end of them.
I cannot remember exactly. It might be Mustapha Batchily or the CEO present right now. As I said earlier on, I cannot remember exactly the time this was done. Might be by the end of the term or by the beginning of the new term.
Will you be able to provide us with the letter?
Nena mba letter wo no mun nga ñu ko isiwale.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Council.
Was the need for a standing order discussed at the General Council, or was it as per your instructions as the Mayoress?
Nambiri standing orders bi yaw sa bopa ya ko halat wala ko discuss wala da ngeen ko discuss ci biir council fofu.
Council lañ ko discuss, even though I wasn't there. Why I supported it.
It was discussed at the level of council while I was absent, but I supported it.
And a resolution was passed to that effect?
Nena ci kaw lolu ngeen dal di amé resolution fofu.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Please provide us with the resolution.
Nena bëgg nañ tamit resolution pour nga isi ñuko.
When you came in 2018, was there a strategic plan that you formulated? A strategic plan?
Nena bi nga ñëwé 2018 nena da fofa da fa amone strategic plan bi nga xamné dañ ko formuler.
Wa fatali ku nané defaron strategic plan mu fa won.
Yes, I can remember that there was a strategic plan.
Was there an operational plan?
Nena am ngeen operational plan.
Operational plan comme naka?
I want to be guided. What is that operational?
So when you have a strategic plan, then you have an operational plan as to how to achieve the strategic objectives of the
institution. So I'm a strategic plan. If they am operation plan, we am more wanna topoto.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
They don't want to under strategic plan because
yes.
strategic plan be of course the way forward, the vision.
Yes. That is a fact because the strategic plan must have supporting things. That is the operation plan. Yes.
For how many years was the strategic plan?
Nena nyata atla won strategic plan bi nyata atla won.
Munuma remember exactly the way for now so nekut 5 years, dina nek 4 years. Why munuma ham exactly?
I can't remember exactly, but I think 5 years or 4 years.
You will need information about the strategic plan as well, all the documentation in relation to the strategic plan.
Then the strategic plan bitamit need nañ ko soxla bo tamit soko isuale nga dal diko isuale ak kayit wi nga xamne yoy moko support.
Combien kay you ko support?
What type of documents supported documents?
The strategic plan and the operational plan.
That is the operation plan, more strategic plan and operational plan.
Nina ko laaj CEO Batchily.
I will try to ask the CEO Batchily.
Because strategic plan be it should be in the custody of the custodian. The CEO should be the custodian.
Because the strategic plan must be within the custodial of the CEO.
Did you say action plan?
Yeah, action plan or operational plan.
Or operation plan.
Yes.
Action plan.
Thank you. Jeez. Now, what in relation to the effective functioning of the institution, the Banjul City Council?
Nina legi lu nga xam moy lan moy effective functional bi nga xam ne council am na ko ci BCC moy Banjul.
What are the relevant legislation?
Nina lan moy relevant legislation
that you rely on?
Bi nga xam ne loi bobu nga xam ne bobu ngeen bantu wala rely on.
In the effective management of the institution.
Pour nga gis ne ni ngeen mara doxale mbir mi mu xala nekk loo xam ne lu war ak moy effective.
Li ma fa fekk benn mooy ne dinañ use of course our tools you mean ndax du.
Yes. When the tools you mean, yes.
So basically man on the governance side we relied on the Local Government Act.
For me personally, on the governance side, we rely on the Local Government Act.
A good practice is nga xam ne mayor yi fa nekkoon loolu lañ doon def.
And the good practice that the mayors who were there was following, or that was the one they were using.
And what were these good practices?
Nena so ne good practices moy lalla.
Bari na.
There are many.
Please name a few.
Nena mun nga ñu wala tudal lu newi.
Well, part of them mooy donation yi nga xam ne comme for exemple dañ ko dee jox si julit ñi jox ko Christians yi di ko jox sport committee si etc. and etc. loolu foofu la ko fekka.
Part of it is just like the donation we used to give outside to the Muslims, Christians, and
Even though we do it with dafa am a budget line.
And we do it, but we do have a budget line for that.
Ak scholarships, for example.
And for instance, the scholarships.
And the second one?
Nena ñaaral wi.
Ñetta la wadi.
No, I mean the good practices. You have mentioned scholarships and donations. Now, the second good practice that you may think of.
Ñetta la wax mané scholarships, for example.
I shared 3 of them. I shared scholarship, for instance.
Helping Nawetani.
The Nawetans.
Ak help si religion.
And the religion, that is the Christians and the Muslims.
Okay. So there will be a budget line for this.
Nena kon da ngeen am budget sili pour li.
Wow.
Yes.
Are you familiar with any other legislation or any other act or law that also binds the area, the city council?
Nena tamit nda hamna am nga loi yo xamne tamit xam nga len yu nga xamne tamit bokana ci mbiri area council.
Wa amna yeneen act yo xamne ñu fa yo xamne man concentrate too much too much because you deals mostly with administration come the Finance and Audit Act.
Yes, we do have some acts there of which, but definitely I don't concentrate much on them because they are just for the finance and the administration.
An audit.
An audit.
How about the financial manual?
The financial manual. Financial manual.
Good.
Can I hear you?
By your answer, is it that you in your understanding that the financial manual and the Financial Audit Act 2004 is just in relation to the core administrative part, that is the CEO and down?
The administration, the financial manual, and the
Finance and Audit Act.
And the Financial Audit Act. Yo nekana yo xamne pour ñu ko jëna sola moy nekana CEO ak ñom administration wala finance.
Dile ñun sa soxla nañ ko way fa nga ñom ñoo ñu ko gëna soxla la min.
Yeah, no, we ourselves we need them, but I know they need them more than we do.
Can you explain that why you think that they need it more than the general body?
Nena legi kon fofu mënu nga ñu lu leral la tax nga wax ne ñoko jëna soxla ci yeen seen bopa.
Because so the Finance and Audit Act dafa melni ñom mostly ñi dé def ak xaliss bi la. Because
when you say Finance and Audit Act, they are workers very near to finance or monies.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So is that all? Yes. Is that all?
Nena lo rek la wala?
Wow. Comme li ma wax man nekuma master ci lolu.
Yes, as I said, I'm not a master to that.
Okay. Now,
suma soxlé pour quote lolu dama day laaj administrator ci ñom.
If I need them to quote something, I do go there and ask for them to give me one so that I can go ahead with that.
Now, who gives authority for expenditure in council? Who has the power to give authority for expenditure in council?
Dina legi ci council kan mo am fofu baat pour mëna joxe cadeau wala digal pour mbiri dépense wala expenditure?
CEO.
Just the CEO?
Nena CEO rek.
Da CEO. Mané CEO waaw.
Nena nda mom rek.
Wow, yes, the accounting officer.
He's the accountant officer.
Does the mayoress have powers to give authority for expenditure?
Nina mayoress nda mom tamit amna baat wala amna doole pour joxe cadeau wala digal pour ñu mëna def dépense.
Muna advice.
Yes.
No, that's not yes. The witness said munna am. Yes.
Oh.
Dede mané muna advice.
Advice.
I can advise very well. Thank you.
So let's get exactly what the witness said.
Yes, I can be able to advise.
Only advice, but you cannot give authority for expenditure?
Then advice rek waye amulo digal wala amulo doole pour joxe digal pour ñu def dépense.
Advice ak la mëna def li gis na li mëna njëriñ Banjul mané len li la bëgg ngeen def so ñom ñu implement.
I only have the obligation to advise. If I see something that I can advise them to say do this, then they are there to implement.
should the CEO in some circumstance take permission from you or approval from you in relation to expenditure?
Nena CEO nda dafa am jamano wala dafa war pour nga gis ne mu am permission ci yow bala mu def ben dépense.
Wa foog na war na ma mëna yégal tam.
Yes, I think he can be able to let me know.
Yeah, but that will be just to inform you.
Nena wa lolu pour yégal la ko.
Would he have the obligation to just request for your approval?
Nena wa lu mo laajte moy pour mu am obligation bi nga am ne fokk mu ñew nga joxone digal nga ne ko waaw li defal wala bul def.
Li ka su ñëwé ne ma su ñëwé ci mat bu ma jox ko digal tam.
When he came to me and I gave him advice,
su ma ko ne ko bul ko def te moom mooy accounting officer bi mënu ma ci dara di.
And if I tell him no, don't do it, and he is the accountant officer, that does not mean.
su ma ko ne ko def ko tam te bëggu koo def mënu ma ci dara.
And if I tell him do it and he don't want to do it, I have no other options.
That would not be in line with what the law says. I think you have some powers given to you by law. Because the CEO is answerable to council, in effect, to you.
Because CEO
What I mean by that is the mayor or the chairperson or the mayoress, as the case may be, represents council because they have an office in the administrative structure.
So
you have powers.
Lead council, with all honesty, man foguma ne mayors in the Gambia am nañ doole.
I don't think the mayors in the Gambia here, they have powers.
Why by the time ma tender lima amé fi,
at the time anytime I tender what I'm having here,
xej na lolu dina mëna dimbalé dinañu mëna dimbalé ñun ñëpp.
Then I think that will help us all.
Te su fekkee ne mën nga ma may 1 or 2 minutes rek ma waxtaan tuuti.
I'm praying if I am granted 1 or 2 minutes, then I will elaborate something.
On this point, yes.
Yes, then I will go.
Because su fekkee ne ni nga ko waxee yow.
Now, as far as the way you said it,
mayor mënuta discipline kenn.
The mayor cannot discipline anybody.
Mayor mënuta promote kenn.
Mayor cannot promote anybody.
Mayor mënuta demote kenn.
Mayor cannot demote anybody.
Mayor mënuta kenn jël kenn liggéey.
Mayor cannot employ anybody.
Kon ana doole mayor bi.
So where's the powers?
Mayor mënuta spend dara.
Mayor mënuta spend.
Mënuta spend dara.
Mayor cannot be able to spend anything.
So ana doole mayor bi.
Where are the powers?
And I have evidences on the table here.
And here I have evidences with me on the
where
table.
Minister bi ci bopam dañ la bind di la wax ne anything to do with discipline key or even pour binda len sax dañ la wax ne buñu binda di permanent secretary la binda ne la bul ma binda so bëggé wax man waxal bi mu bindam.
They write to me to say anything you want to do, don't do it directly to us or don't even write to us. You have people beside you or under you who you can be right to all.
All right, so we will come back to the issue for authority for expenditure.
So
we will perhaps discuss the points you have raised. After which we will come back to the authority for expenditure. We can see your correspondence you are referring to.
Council, I believe that it is 4 o'clock.
Very
it's a
well.
convenient point to stop. Honorable Mayor.
Chairperson,
No. We will let you know when you will come back. Yes, because it's already 4, and we will give you all the time to present the documents and to explain in details all that you want to.
Then I'm sorry, Allah. Then I'm jamanu bingamne danga nyawate danga gis lebli ngamne am ko pour leral nga dal diko leral.
Thank you so much for coming.
Nena jërëjëf Jeff sa ñëwaay bi dégg nga.
Thank you.
Please just hold your documents.
Nena li ngay def mooy kayit yi nga téye ko nga amee ko dégg nga.
So that when you are notified of your appearance,
Nena soo ñëwaatee.
you can rely on them.
da nga gis ne kayit yooyu si kaw nga doon di dugal nga rely on them sukkandiku si ñoom. Thank you.
baax na jërëjëf.
Yes, we may rise.